You moved up.
I didn't notice it much from my side.
Your body wasn't where I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, here you are. Thank you. Yeah,
Beautifully done.
Striking with your arm, but you were...
It could definitely be hard. Like you kind of hit it,
I
you kind of slid
don't
down.
know if you practiced the
If it had
angle.
been just
Yeah.
a hit, I probably wouldn't
Yeah, I
have
do,
done it.
So
yeah.
what's your
When it hit and slid, I kind of went through it.
what's your secret sauce there?
But probably slow down.
I think I just move it a lot.
I'll take that thing.
Well, you're not catching yourself here.
Yeah. And I don't, when I, here. A lot of people, when they sword block,
Yeah.
they come here.
Right.
I come here. Right, so it's more like I'm back in front. I don't come out in front.
You weren't leaving your arm open.
Right.
And it was hard to smite.
Yeah, and that is a coincidence of my style. I didn't really practice that, I don't think. I just think I always did it that way. But there are a lot of people who sword block who leave their arm open, right?
Well, come on out of the camera range. I didn't feel like I was getting a whole lot of traction. I don't feel like I was blocking better than it has
Good.
Yeah, but it was a body thrust.
Yeah, you're a tough fight.
I am a tough fighter. And it's very hard to, I have a lot of talents, right? So, but I think one of the hardest for a lot of people to deal with is that my timing is really solid. And I also have been fighting so long. I'm very in control of my adrenaline, and my vision and my footwork are good. So I can tell what you're throwing and where you're throwing and how my angle's set up and when you're ready to block and when you're not. And that's very, like,
That's a very high-end thing.
it's super niche and it's super high-end, and it's not something that is not necessarily super evident until it starts happening to you. Like, I think if you just, people watch me on tape and they're like, oh, he's good, but he's not like great. But then they fight me and he's like, yeah, he's got shit going on that doesn't come across on camera, right? So there's things that, like, especially once I block 2 or 3 shots and you're in a combo and you're like, he's not really trying, or he's moving these angles and making it hard, and then you get frustrated and you make a small mistake, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready for that, right? So that is super hard to deal with. But sometimes it's kind of like when I am forcing a hole on you, you're fine, right? Like, I could do it, but I really got to kick the fight up to a level where I'm relying on athleticism and skill, and I'm layering a lot of shit that it would be too much for you to deal with, like, quite frankly. So I revert to a lower energy fight style, but that's the sort of thing that, like, and then something happens and I hit you for it, and that's still tough to deal with, but it's tough to deal with in a different way, right? Because
one of them, like the one guy in the body.
good, yeah.
So it's bringing the
The other one,
I do too, yes, same.
I knew where you're going.
Sorry,
Just one time you hit it, I just missed. The other one,
Yeah.
so, and it's because I know that's what you're
I do the same thing, and the person who punishes me most for it is probably your husband. When I just go, like, I'm just going to come in and gang up on this guy, I'm just going to go nuts, balls to the wall, he makes me pay for it, right? But when I actually kick back and play a smart tactical fight, I get my leg back, right? I get a leg up back. So it's really cool, and I've been doing that a lot lately, because I get away with a lot of shit fighting different levels. So sometimes I'll just be like, I'm just going to be really off. Like, I fought Brute the last event, and I'm like, I'm just going to blow his doors off. And he killed me a couple times, because I'm not thinking about defense or positioning as much as I normally do. And I'm like, yeah, that was dumb. Why am I doing that? Right? I'm not just going to be faster, but, like, that's not where my talent lies. I'm not just going to be faster, stronger, better than you. Like, I need to use my brain more. But it's easy to forget that sometimes, right? Like, yeah. Yep. You also need a little more get up and go. Like, you're not. Who? Oh, okay. And let me be probably more articulate than he is. when you throw a shot, your speed is okay. It's not fast, but it's fine, right? Like you throw shots at a perfectly fine speed. But you have like a startup half a second or something. When you start to throw a shot, you don't just like watch Hugo. Hugo has this, but when he starts to throw a shot, it's just bam, right? It's going. You're like, I'm gonna throw, and you're like, okay now, right? Okay now, and it's almost like you stutter a little before you actually throw the shot sometimes. Yeah. So that hitch, I don't know if it comes from indecision or uncertainty, or if it just comes from like you're still finding the angle, right. So think about that and try to watch for that on the pitch. Because, like I said, once your shot goes, it's not slow. I mean, it's not fast, it's not slow. But leading up to that, so it might be telegraphy or something like that. Right? Yeah.
Well, kind of glance to the one up here. Yeah.